LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot stop your new clients from emailing you at 3 a.m. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you be in 3 places at once. And while we can't help you organize your calendar, LinkedIn can help you land more clients so you have a calendar to organize. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
Are all batteries the same? That's like asking if all soccer players are the same. Take Messi, the most decorated player ever. Is there any other player who has achieved that? No, just him. Now take Duracell. Is there any other battery with power boost ingredients inside? No, just Duracell. Remember, goats only trust goats because they're built different. And Messi only trusts Duracell.
Off goes Cancelo, delivering the cross! Ronaldo! Just look at his face! Relief, aggression, delight, zoom! So here we go. It's Nuno Mendes! It's 2-0! And they surprised everybody, Portugal! Bruno Fernandes. Neto sprinting down the right, Ronaldo through the middle. It's Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal, it's 3-0! And Ronaldo strikes again! An emphatic 5-0 win for Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo has arrived at the party. Bumped off it, here come Ghana the other way. Abdul Fatawa rolls it in, long run to get there, Prince Adu! That's a top tackle, it's still in! His teammate blocked it! Semenyo blocked it going goal bound!
There's a shout potentially of a foul there because Konsa ends up making contact with getting no ball.
Kane picks it up, Rogers, James, into the middle, off the crossbar, Harry Kane misses! O'Reilly hit the bar, Kane missed the target. There's the final whistle. Ghana have done it. They hold England, one of the tournament favorites, to a scoreless draw.
Live from New York. It's a show that's going to start calling for VAR if they don't agree with a take that they've heard. First hour, first things first.
KW tried to call for VAR in our little pre-show competition.
Well, I was trying to nutmeg you, and you were trying to just kick the ball across the studio. That's usually you try to gain possession.
Bro.
Nick did score on you.
Thank you.
There was no scoring.
Oh, really? Then why do we have 2 cameras set up?
There was no goal.
Well,
You're supposed to kind of like get possession.
You were trying to get past me, and
I was trying to get past you.
I dispossessed you. And
now we are going to be on nutmeg patrol in the office. I will have the ball at all times.
I'm not worried about
and I will just be putting it through everyone's legs at all times.
You are in better shape than me. You are stronger than me. You play soccer because you have young boys and I do not. I, however, am much younger than you. And because of that, I am an grandfather. It's true.
First hour, first things first. Today, new coaches, new starts, different reports out of camps for Josh Allen and Lamar. Which approach do we like better? Very interesting test for you, bro.
Yeah.
You didn't like it? Okay, interesting. Yeah. Meanwhile, day 2 of Giannis in Miami. Is there a chance that he will regret this move? And we try to predict Miami's starting 5, which doesn't look that intimidating, to be honest with you. And finally, a fresh edition of World Cup tiers. How high will Argentina be? And what's going on with Nick's Brazil team, which plays today?
I've got a stunning take for tiers.
Wow.
Really?
Stunning, yeah. Absolutely.
Be honest before we get to the full tiers. You guys were impressed with the committee's work this week, weren't you?
I wouldn't say that.
There was just so many teams. Yeah. I think it's.
I was impressed that you went so deep on the.
And I like that you started to get behind the good old U.S. of A.
I have. I don't like how you're trying to frame the audience as if you're the only person who.
I'm the USA guy.
See, that's what you're trying
We're
to
all
do.
pulling for
You're
USA.
trying.
We're pulling for it, but like,
after he picked
I'm the
France,
USA guy.
He now has
Oh,
been
so
like.
are you giving up France? 'Cause
I'm
I'll
the
take
No,
France.
I'm also a
glad
French
And
you
you
fan.
said Argentina.
I talked about Argentina's merch.
Yeah.
Starting in Boston, where Celtics GM Brad Stevens talked about not trading for Giannis and the potential that Jaylen Brown could still be traded. Take a listen.
Jaylen Brown's a big part of us. Like, you know, I'm never gonna predict the future, but like every indication, everything that I think about is over the past few years has been building around those guys, right? And so obviously you never know, but at the same time, I think the one thing I want to make very clear is how valued he's always been.
Okay, should Jaylen Brown want to leave the Celtics?
I wouldn't blame him at all. And I wouldn't blame them, and I think they are going to trade him.
You do?
Yes. Oh, I
wasn't here yesterday.
Yeah,
But I did listen to the entire show, but I forgot some of it.
I think that right now, I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but if I had to pick, will Jaylen Brown be on the Celtics or not on the Celtics game 1 of next season, my guess would be not on the Celtics. And this press conference it pushed me a little further towards that take, because he had the option of being like, listen, I'm not going to get into specific reports, but, you know, when a player like the one you guys are talking about, Giannis, comes available, we of course have conversations. We of course discuss things. Mm-hmm. With that said, Jaylen Brown did X, Y, and Z for his finals MVP. You know, we definitively are moving forward with him. He didn't do that. I'm not saying he should have. But that, I think they are continuing to shop Jaylen Brown, and that's one of the reasons Brad Stevens didn't want to throw cold water on it, because he knows it could be reported in the next few days he's been offered for something else.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown has made hundreds of millions of dollars, has won a championship, has been a finals MVP. The one thing he has not done is really seen how far he can take a team as the lead guy. And we got a glimpse of it last year, and what we heard from him was it was the most fun he's ever had. Now, I don't think it will be as successful as I think he thinks it would be. I think a team with Jaylen Brown as your number one, as your best player, has a ceiling similar to what Brew and I at least thought the Celtics ceiling was last year without Tatum coming back. You can have a good regular season, you can win a round in the playoffs potentially, but you are not going to compete for a championship. But if Jaylen Brown says, I've checked off all these boxes, and I feel a little disrespected by the fact that it's pretty clear that for Brad Stevens and the Celtics, it's not everyone's available. It's everyone but Jason Tatum's been available since we've been together. And I think Jaylen feels like he and Tatum are absolute peers. So for all those reasons, I wouldn't blame him at all if he's like, yeah, I want to go see what I look like in Portland or Atlanta or somewhere.
No, look, that makes a lot of sense, what you said, but I'm going to say no. Now, if he is traded, I don't think it should rock his world and he can't handle it. Because like you said, he could go to a Portland or an Atlanta or a situation that's good and he'll be the best player and they can, you know, they'll be a competitive playoff team. But I would say be careful what you wish for. Jaylen Brown is in a phenomenal situation. He is playing with the flagship franchise in the league. Mm-hmm. He is a perennial contender, great front office, great head coach. He's a superstar. He's 1A, 1B. I mean, we get Tatum is slightly ahead of him, but we'll see next year how does that go. Maybe they're even or Brown's a little ahead. And he is in the spotlight. Like, if you leave there and you don't know where you could end up. You could end up going somewhere averaging 25 and 5 for the rest of your career, making a couple all-star games here or there. Your team's not any good. You might be a lower-rung playoff team, and you're off the radar. He is very much on the radar right now.
Yeah.
And look, Russell Westbrook leaving Oklahoma City, and now you're traveling around all over Kevin Durant leaving Golden State, now you're all over it doesn't work out for everybody. When Kyrie left Cleveland, he wanted to leave Cleveland. A few years later, he wanted to reunite with LeBron. Like, he's in a great situation. I get it. They offered you for 2 of the best 20 players ever. Kevin Durant and Giannis.
Yes.
And no matter how big you're not LeBron James, you're not Michael Jordan. Like, you got offered. It's almost a compliment.
Yes.
And I'm just saying
that JW for Bob Costas.
Right? Honestly.
Wow, really?
Are you gonna be that upset? I get
throw
it.
in Josh.
I get it. So I just think I understand what you're saying, and there might be a part of him that would like to go somewhere and be the number one guy and see what he can do. But he needs to realize, don't demand it. That's what I'm saying. Don't demand. Don't ask for a trade. If they end up moving you, fine, but you are in a great situation.
Question for you, even though I was at my son's graduation. I did listen to the whole thing, but I didn't take notes.
Yeah, no problem.
So I apologize.
Gianna, we didn't post to YouTube yesterday, so he could do
I know, I didn't I still, because I got to watch every individual camera angle too, so it's actually like 5x the normal person's viewing. If he wanted to leave, do you think the Milwaukee trade was still available if he would have committed to signing an extension?
Oh.
I thought that he basically nixed that.
No, I don't think he nixed it at all.
Because he's like, I'm not going to sign an extension.
What nixed the Milwaukee?
Yeah, they're like, he basically poisoned the well of like Jaylen Brown.
They got him locked up.
No, I mean, I don't
even
think,
if they don't extend.
I think maybe had he made it very clear, the first chance I get, I'd sign an extension. Maybe that would have, because there was some reporting Jimmy Haslam was nervous about him wanting out, but I don't know. I don't think that's the case.
I mean, you would still have him for 3 years.
3 years, which is in these days almost the max you have any player. Right. Can I add one other thing on this before we move on?
Yeah, of course.
So here is what I think is the trickiest for Jaylen Brown. There are 2 teams that are contender-ish. That, again, and one of the I'm not saying these trades even would work or even what the pieces would be, but that Jaylen Brown would be a perfect fit for. And if they went there, I think it would be like, oh, my goodness. Like, he is a perfect fit for that team. They can win the title. The Lakers and the Nuggets. That if they, like Luka with Jaylen Brown, it is exactly what Luka needs. And Joker with Jaylen Brown, that's exactly what, the Nuggets need.
I would put Minnesota in there too.
Okay, sure.
If they could get, I don't think they could.
But what do all of those teams have in common? He wouldn't be the number one guy any of those places either. And so that is where the rub here for, if I were personally advising Jaylen Brown, it would be, the grass might be greener in other places, and maybe you are, a little feel disrespected by the Celtics organization. But there is no place, as I say all the time, you can't have everything in life. There is no place of the 30 NBA teams where you can check the box of, I am unquestionably the best player, and I am in as good of a position to win a championship as I am right now. That does not exist. And so, that is the tricky part. Now, the fact that he's won a championship, won a Finals MVP, and if he were watching and heard Bruce say, be the number one guy and average 25 and 5, he's probably like, I was the number one guy last year, I averaged 30. We weren't fighting for the play-in. I think, which again, I agree with your take, but I'm saying, he might say, you guys are still underestimating me. Why can't I go be that guy? And he seemed to imply, after they lost in the first round, that one of the reasons they lost in the first round was they went away from what they had been doing all year long, which was, to me, a not-so-subtle dig, if you will, at the reacclimation of Tatum.
But not entirely unfair.
Not entirely unfair. Now, Tatum wasn't there for the Game 7, and they had an opportunity to hold on to that 3-1 lead with Jaylen Brown and friends, and they weren't able to do it.
I also think the scenarios you mentioned, he would be, the distance between the number one guy and him is greater with Luka or Jokic.
Joker, for sure.
And maybe even
Ant's close,
but it's
to Tatum,
viewed, and is viewed as a much on another level. And in the West, you're not guaranteed at all of getting to the conference finals, let alone the NBA finals. Where in the East, You have a better shot.
So do you think training camp starts September 29th? Do you think he's there?
I mean, I think he very well could get traded, and I think they're right to listen to offers, maybe shop him, see what they can get. I'm just of the position that if you don't definitely get a trade that makes you better, don't do it because you think his feelings are hurt. And Brad Stevens talked about, we've had candid conversations, so they may have been
sounds like he appreciates that.
very open and honest with him.
I'm not setting the deadline at training camp. Cat was traded, right before the start of the season. The Harden was traded this years ago. Harden with Oklahoma City was right before the start of the season. Like, I am saying, so I think he could be. What the Harden trade was the Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City trade.
The original
There's
Harden
so many
trade.
Harden trades.
And
that was
a week into the year, right?
Yeah,
and
that
so
was
I
money
in Sacramento.
Right. And so no, I'm just saying by the first day of the season,
Gotcha.
the regular season.
Okay. Meanwhile, in Brooklyn, NBA draft went largely as anticipated at the top. Devonsta to the Wizards, Peterson to the Jazz, Boozer to the Grizzlies. Some interesting comments afterwards. Caleb Wilson to the Bills, and Keaton Wagler from the Illini, who I liked, to the Clippers.
I do like him.
Who was the biggest winner of the first round?
Chet Holmgren.
Interesting.
What a take.
Because Oklahoma City at number 12 drafted Ade Mara, 7'3", 260 pounds. And they're calling him the Wemby stopper.
Who's they, Brew?
It's just out there.
Who's they?
It's out there. Have you seen it? Have you seen
said
it?
it on the meeting.
No. What Bruce said
but
was
it's
about
been
the
out there.
Wemby's
People
enforcer was the guy the Spurs drafted.
Yes.
That's right. But here's the deal. If this guy guards Wemby, right, we'll see how much he even plays. But the thing is, Wemby stopper, if Wemby's hearing that, maybe he will turn his ire toward Mara and away from Chet.
Great take.
All right? Now, Chet, you might be we don't even play the same position. We don't guard each other. I'm a forward. Mara's our center or whatever. Yeah, Wemby and I don't even put us in the same sense anymore. But seriously, I do like what they did. Look, we'll see what this guy can do at the NBA level. He is a very good passer, as you can see. And I think that could, if he gets some playing time, that could open up their offense in ways where it's not just, you're not so as reliant on Shea creating for himself off the dribble. This kid can maybe, they can run a little motion with their offense with his passing. And then I actually like them getting the shooter from Iowa too, Bennett Sturts. So I like that. But the team, I think he could be good. The team I really quickly want to point to is Utah. Because Utah could make a nice little jump next year. We know they tanked. We know they could have been better this year. But this is their starting lineup with Darren Peterson at number 2. You got him. You got Keontae George. They got 3 20-point scorers in their lineup without Peterson. Ace Bailey had a nice rookie year. He's the one that's not a 20-point scorer. And then Markkanen, who averaged 26 last year, and Jaren Jackson Jr.
And that's not even mentioning Walker Kessler.
Right. So I think they are going to make now they got to fit all that together because those guys can score, but they have some talent. They obviously have a good coach too. So I think they're going to make a little jump and surprise.
And listen, at number 2, you have to draft best player available, not base it on fit. I think they are thrilled the draft fell the way it did because this was the best fit, and they thought the best player available. You know what I mean?
I do think it's you don't think they wanted Devonta? I think Devonta would have been their first choice, but I think this is a better fit.
So, yes, I think Devonta is who they would have loved to have. My point is they didn't – had Washington taken Peterson and Devonta's there, yes, you obviously are thrilled and you take him. Like, let me do it.
But it doesn't
fit as well. Like, this was – it was – the way the draft fell, it was best player available and best fit, so that's great. I'm going to go with just picks 3 and 4 quickly.
Okay.
I think of the top 4 prospects, Cam Boozer is the least likely to be MVP and the least likely to be a perennial first-team All-NBA guy. I think he's the most likely to to have a 12-plus year, super solid, productive career. I think he has, it appears to be the most, and I think a lot of this sounds insulting to the other guys, but the most mature, most adult of all the guys, in part because, his dad was a pro and he's kind of been preparing this for so long. And I think that is exactly what Memphis needs. I think Memphis needs stability, mature face to build their new team around once they move on from Ja this summer. So I think that was a smart and great pick for them. And then the Bulls, I think that it is, I would put, to steal a line from you, on the roulette wheel of takes, a few chips on, this kid's going to be the best player in the draft.
Ooh.
And the Bulls being able to sit there, get a guy who I think his upside is as high as DeBonsa and Peterson.
Right.
It is not, to me, as sure of a thing as DeBonsa. And be able to get him, the comp I would give for maybe the older audience, I guess a bit, is like a rich man's Jermaine O'Neal. And Jermaine O'Neal was awesome. And so, again, that is not trying to insult Jermaine O'Neal's career, but higher upside than that. And so I just think to be drafting 4 and get a guy who I think in 3 of the last 6 drafts would have been the number 1 pick in Caleb Wilson, I think is great. And so those are the
best prospect they've had since Derrick Rose.
Oh, yeah.
They drafted Derrick Rose.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
So, no, I like it too.
Good. North Carolina in the red and black, too.
Yeah, they got a history, right?
KW, real quick.
Pretty good.
Let's take 30 seconds. Bonus take.
Bonus take.
Throw the graphic up, Dust. Other big winner. Rivals high school rankings. Here are the top 10 players of last year's high school class and where they went in the draft. 1, 2, 3, 13, 4, 27, 6, 37, and 10. Of their top 10 guys, all got drafted last year, and 7 of their top 10 were drafted in the top 10. The Rivals high school rankings.
Back-to-back years with all freshmen in the top 5. So it's not.
But
just freshmen.
I understand, and I'm saying that you rank all the incoming freshmen, and they were correct in how good they were going to be. Brew and I like the pedigree in the high school rankings.
No, I don't think that's necessarily true.
What do you mean?
I don't think that Brew loves high school and Rivals rankings.
He does for the basketball. He doesn't for football. He does. How many times when he talks about the Spurs? But for basketball, he's like, those are blue chip talents. Listen, the Thunder, they have nice players, but they're not blue chip talents like the Spurs. We hear it all the time.
He's trying to.
No, it's true. He's with me. Brew's with me. Brew's with me.
Back to the World Cup. Portugal, Uzbekistan. Ronaldo scores twice, becomes the only player to score in 6 World Cups. After his 2 goals, he was asked 2 Messi questions, and here was his answer/non-answer to the second.
Ayer Lionel Messi marcó 2 goles, Mbappé, no, Haaland, y tú sigues demostrando que eres
Okay, your reaction to Ronaldo's post-game and game.
I want Brew to go, but first, there was more. He also was asked about Messi again, and we'll play it, and we have it captioned. You can hear as he's walking out, he's asked again, and play that if you would, Dust.
Fez o que fez hoje. O Messi também consegue hat-trick, consegue fazer uma coisa. O que é que isto diz sobre ela?
I don't care about anybody else. And then he's like, Mbappe scored 2.
So good.
I like the way he responded.
You did?
Yes, because Messi, he is clearly motivated by what Messi is doing. It's his peer who is out there playing phenomenally, and you saw it yesterday. I'm not saying he wouldn't have had a great game anyway, but all the other, big names have been scoring, getting braces and scoring 2 goals, all that. But Messi in particular, is his peer, and he's doing it. And I think yesterday, you saw Ronaldo look great. He turned back the clock and played well. And I think he's not just motivated by Messi to play well individually. Mm-hmm. I think he is now he's been motivated to win, obviously. But I just think it's a little extra something to win as a team, because we saw in game 1 he was criticized because some thought he was playing selfishly. Yesterday with the free kick,
it was
he
great.
gives it up to Mendez. So I just think that he sees what Messi's doing. He's motivated, but don't throw it in my face. I don't want to hear it. But inside, yeah, I'm going to bring it because he's bringing it. So I like it.
I would like to see them meet up this World Cup. That was what
Quarterfinals in Kansas City.
Is it in Kansas City?
Yeah, I think it's July 11th. If the bracket holds, Argentina, Portugal in the quarterfinals, I believe in Kansas City.
Again, it'd be one of the if that happens, that would be one of the greatest games ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy cow, that would be nice. Right now, I don't feel like the GOAT conversation is close.
No.
I feel like Messi had a lead and then just started to extend his lead. And the fact that Ronaldo is still kind of, I don't know, brushing off Messi, I guess that's what you need from a competitor. But I didn't think this response was excellent or admirable by any sense.
I mean, it might not have been polite, but I don't care about being polite in this situation.
So I agree with you, Brew, that I wouldn't care about the, for lack of a better term, rudeness of it. But I do think, and this is where I think you are, it was a little revealing that this actually, he is pressing.
That's what it felt like. He's bothered by it. Like if you wanted to play it cool,
it might have a legitimate impact.
He did great. I did great.
While it doesn't show up against Uzbekistan, it might have a legitimate impact on how he plays or approaches games, particularly if they do get a game against Argentina to make the semis. And I also think that, and there's, this, as you guys would say, you do a long podcast on this, and I'm sure many, many have been done. But the flip of the way Ronaldo's career at the World Cup started, when it was right as he was 21 years old, kind of entering the scene as, is he already the best player in the world? The next year, after the 06 World Cup, the next year he finished second in the Ballon d'Or, and the year after he won it. Portugal kind of shockingly makes the semis, and it's like, wow. And meanwhile, Messi's career at the World Cup, up until last World Cup, had been one of some disappointment. And the fact that Portugal has never gone on a deep run since then. Argentina now, won it and is one of the favorites. Messi went from a guy who had 8 goals through his first 4 World Cups to now the all-time goals leader. All of that, I think, has been, really impacting. I think that rivalry is real for them, and I think Ronaldo didn't see this much of a switch coming in short order, and I think I think it bothers him immensely.
Portugal, Colombia on Saturday. We'll see how he plays. That's another huge.
I'll be there in Miami.
I am going to be there.
Oh, you want to come?
No, it's my mother-in-law's birthday, but otherwise I will be. Maybe I'll ask her.
Bring her. Why don't you give her tickets as a present? Oh, speaking of World Cup champions.
7 hours, Scotland, Brazil.
Brazil's got to win by margin to win the group.
Well, then, yes.
Brazil's got to win by margin. Morocco's playing
Haiti.
Haiti.
Morocco's going to try to win.
They play at the same time.
They're going to try to pour it on.
Yeah, I know.
That's in 7 hours and 30 minutes. When we come back.
That's also in Miami.
Giannis in Miami.
What? He's also, wow.
Everybody's in Miami.
Giannis should be there.
At the game?
Take him out. What a way to introduce yourself.
Sometimes creating an ad campaign can feel like you're talking on mute. But advertising on Spotify is different. We'll help your business turn up the volume and reach an engaged audience that's ready to hear and see your message. Learn how Spotify can add more to your mix at ads.spotify.com.
Welcome back to First Things First. 4 hours until Canada takes on Switzerland in Vancouver. You were looking at Canada's Jonathan David coming off a hat trick against Qatar. Yeah. We'll see if he can get on the board again in Vancouver.
Determines the winner of the group.
I'm rooting for our friends to the north.
It'd be nice. It's been a good.
Yeah, I mean, the host countries, it would be 3 for 3 on winning the group.
And remember, this is your battle of flags as well. You brought it.
Well, I do like the arrogance of the Swiss flag. I just like it. The fact that they go square and the only other place that does is Vatican City, I think there's something to it.
Giannis will start year 14 in Miami Heat. have the 5th best odds to win the championship, which of course would validate the move if they win another championship. And Giannis is Finals MVP. But let's explore the other option here, bro. What are the chances Giannis regrets going to Miami?
Unfortunately, I think they are very high. Because one, I don't think he's going to win a championship there. And people are already talking about in Miami. Every time Pat Riley gets a superstar player, he ends up delivering a championship. And it is true that everybody they've had on Giannis's level, LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Shaq, they all won championships there. And so when Giannis doesn't, which is my prediction, unfortunately, I think that that's going to be held against him. And secondly, if it doesn't work out in Miami and you could have went to Boston.
That's the piece.
And he could have been competing for a championship this year and really the rest of his prime. He would have been competing for championships, maybe in the finals versus Wemby, which just would have been incredible, the one-on-one matchup. So I do think he will regret this because I don't see Miami, and I don't see in the near future them even having the tools to improve, their team.
So listen, I know you reviewed the tapes and heard what Brew and I heard about this yesterday.
Thought you guys
I have to.
But if you want to reiterate.
No. I have to admit, and my apologies, I was busy watching England cost me a lot of money yesterday.
Again?
You
gotta stop. Every time you come on, it's like I lost.
I know. I'm on.
Just put draws. Just put a little money on draws.
That's what I should have been doing. Instead, I'm betting huge favorites and they're losing or drawing, and it's just ruining me. But we move forward. Point is this. I didn't have time to review the Kevin Wildes Podcast Network, where I know you did an emergency trade reaction. So do you want to get your initial TV thoughts on this before I give mine?
Oh, you already did on the pod. The world's already heard.
Because here is where I stand. It's not only that I totally agree with Brew, and I argued with Colin a bit about this yesterday when he talked about how great of a defensive team Miami can be. And I think Miami will be an excellent defensive team.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't think Giannis is still a top 3 defender in the league. Now, maybe
but with that help.
Yeah, and also maybe that's also he wasn't competing for championships. And so, maybe he'll get a little boost on that end of the ball, side of the ball. But I think they are going to be a mediocre offense, and they are going to be a bad shooting team. And the only reason that what will make the offense give it some life is Giannis's 30 a night on high efficiency. But I asked this question yesterday, which is Giannis's career in Miami. Pick which door you think is more likely. He wins a championship, never makes a conference finals. And to me, that is a clear cut. Door number 2 is more likely. Now, the most likely might be door number 3. They have one good season where they, make a semi-deep run. But of those two, and then compare that if the news was he was in Boston, traded for Jaylen Brown, and it's like wins a championship or never makes the conference finals. I would have found it incomprehensible that Boston with Tatum and Giannis would never make a conference finals.
Right. They seemingly make it every year. The last 2 they haven't, but
exactly right. And so, and I understand all the respect, and I have been one of the Pied Pipers of believing in the Heat since we've been doing the show. But over this part of the decade, as good as the Heat and Pat Riley have been, the Celtics have been better. The Celtics have been, as high. They have been a higher functioning organization. They both are very good at turning role players into very good role players, but the Celtics have won at a higher level and competed at a more consistently higher level.
The Heat did dispatch of the higher-ranked Celtics and went to the finals, right?
Yeah.
If I was a huge Heat guy.
Which is another thing quickly on the Giannis.
They also
Jimmy Butler, who's not on Giannis's level, led them to 2 finals. And again, if he doesn't get them to a finals or a championship, that will also be thrown in his face.
And I think the East is harder than it was the years Jimmy Butler got them to the finals. And this is right now, KW. So I think I'm stunned that that Giannis is good with this, and I am even more stunned that Vegas is as optimistic as they are. Because for next season, expect, I would be pretty surprised if New York, Boston, Cleveland, or Detroit are not better in the regular season. So as far as that, those are the teams with the better regular season.
Detroit,
I have no reason to think Detroit's not going to be good in the regular season. Again, they took their playoff lumps, their young team. Maybe not. And I am not certain which of these teams I would bet a lot of money. Now, part of that's because I have no money left to bet.
Yeah.
But bet a lot of money that the Heat will definitely be better than next year in the regular season. Indiana, Orlando, Atlanta. And then I will include Toronto and Philly as possibles. Well, I've now said 9 teams. I'm not saying those 9 teams are better than Miami. My point is, what do I anticipate, KW? That at the All-Star break, there's at least a moment where Giannis says, wait a minute. We're fighting to stay out of the play-in here, too. And now maybe Riley can make magic in coming off seasons, but when you've traded away your picks, when you've traded away your young role players, I don't see the maneuverability there.
That you don't think there's another move coming outside of, Windhorse is talking Chris Middleton.
Chris Middleton doesn't do anything.
No,
we were hearing the same thing with Milwaukee. We said Miami or Milwaukee South. I said yesterday, Wilds, Norman Powell is so important for them. They have to keep Norman Powell. And he's a very good player, but I'm talking about him like he's a perennial all-star.
Yeah.
But they just that's how depleted their roster is right now.
And they are probably the most likely team to be like, you know what? We'll take a spin on the Ja Morant wheel.
I would love that.
But that doesn't...
Ja can't shoot.
Yeah.
Yes. And Ja, I still think he could be a great
South Beach will be the perfect recipe for him to reach his full potential.
I like
Ja.
Ja.
You might have to look. Where else is he going? Who else is going to be interested in Ja? Maybe you can do something there.
I think it would be a terrible sign for Miami if that's where he ends up, because you know what the types of teams that would be like, you know what, let's roll the dice on Ja Morant. Desperate teams. Miami's not supposed to be desperate right now. They just made a move they think makes them contenders. There is no A-list contender that we're like, you know what, roll the dice with Ja Morant.
Well, you usually don't need Ja Morant if you're an A-list contender.
But this is...
They need him.
So I am trying to measure my commentary a bit with the fact that there's only 4 teams in the league that have better title odds. So there are people out there, Brew, that clearly think, oh yeah, Miami, listen, they're not Boston or New York, but they're right there. They have better title odds than the Timberwolves, than the Nuggets, than Cleveland and Detroit are interesting because we don't believe in them in the playoffs, so I understand that piece of it. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't think they have a fully formed roster, and I don't think they have a way to get a fully formed roster, and I just don't think they have enough shooting at all.
No, to me, that's their biggest problem is lack of shooting.
Yeah.
They have got to find some.
I like Ja a lot. All right, a new attitude in Buffalo. Will it lead to more wins? And we are counting down to Morocco-Haiti live from Atlanta at 6 p.m. right here on FS1. It will be happening at the same time as the Brazil game. Yeah. We'll scoreboard watching.
Yeah. And I'm going to come in tomorrow a winner. I am.
You know what? You come in every day a winner. Whether or not you win, it's not the type of attitude you need to have.
I'd like to say that. But if Morocco and Brazil don't both blow out their competition today,
Haiti,
we're going to be in trouble.
Haiti played Brazil to a draw in the second half.
That is not a thing. There's not a thing.
It is. Brazil wanted to light up the scoreboard too.
Big on that.
3-0 is.
When the world keeps shifting, we're there to help you act with confidence. At HSBC, we bring together the people, ideas, and capital that drive growth, backing your ambitions at every stage. So when you're preparing for the next generation, strengthening your portfolio, or you're entering new markets, we're there, bringing 160 years of experience to help you move forward. HSBC, opening up a world of opportunity.
Afternoon headlines sponsored by Ram Trucks. They're built to serve. It's a new day and a new vibe in Buffalo. Bills opened their stadium yesterday. Look at all this.
Wow.
And celebratory smoke cannons notwithstanding, the team is operating with a breath of fresh air. Tim Graham writing in The Athletic. High-ranking Bill staffers watch player whooping around the practice field and remark how Brady's a breath of fresh air. More than football drills, field day competitions like tug of war, obstacle courses took place at OTA, where obscene music blared across the practice fields. Players rave about how cool Brady is.
Wow.
Coach, it's a cool teacher in the grammar school and field day and with swearing. Do you like this?
You know, most music has obscene lyrics in it. Yeah,
right, nowadays that's
kind of commonplace. Yeah. Here's how I feel about this: is it's in line with how it always works in the offseason, right? So if you got a disciplinarian, you go and get a players coach. If you got a players coach, you go and get a disciplinarian, and that's common. And guys will talk about, you know, how great it is that we've changed the philosophy and what a big difference it's going to make. Now the tightrope that he walks is he was part of the last administration. He was there for all the good things they did. He was there for their shortcomings. So now he's got to establish with the players that the things that he's doing differently are really going to impact things in a positive way. So not just make guys more comfortable, but it's going to allow them to take the next step. And it's a very unique situation because when you come in and guys aren't used to you and haven't seen how you operate and don't know the decisions you made and how much you were part of the process, it's a different equation. So it's great to be the cool guy and the fun guy, and you know everybody wants to be that. But at some point, you're going to have to make really tough decisions about whether it's cuts or discipline or all those things. And being the cool, fun guy isn't necessarily going to serve you as well as you hope in that moment. And you know we'll see.
Yeah, because both styles work. There are some coaches that are, you know, more laid back, more players coaches, and it works, and some guys who are harder disciplinarians. But we do have to wait and see. When I was covering the Knicks, I was covering them when Jeff Van Gundy quit after 10 games. And Jeff, of course, was a hard-nosed disciplinarian type coach. And Don Chaney, who's a great guy, was an assistant on the staff. He became the head coach. They won their first game, and it was kind of sloppy. They blew like a big lead, but they still won. And over the next couple of days, all the players were talking about how, man, it's so, because Don was more of a players coach. So it's so great. You know, we're not doing this, we're not doing that. The only player, Latrell Sprewell, said, we'll see. I mean, sometimes you need a hard-nosed, Latrell said it, disciplinarian type coach. I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, sure. I don't know. We'll see if this works. They lost 16 of their next 19 games, and it didn't work out. So for some guys, it'll work, but like Coach said, we do have to wait and see if this is going to be what they need. Because McDermott, we always talk about, got the most out of that defense. One way you do that is you really are hard driving on guys.
So I understand what you guys are saying kind of in the abstract, like how it works generally in the NFL, or, you know, the waiting to put, you know, grade this based on how it goes down the road. I'm looking at this very specifically for this team in this moment. Why did Sean McDermott get fired? There's only one correct answer. Because Josh Allen was crying in the locker room. Because of the emotional devastation of that loss. Because there was so much pent-up tension around that team and everything that it felt like, I don't want to call it change for change's sake, but it almost felt from the owner that's what it was. They weren't expecting to fire McDermott, but everybody was so emotionally wrecked from that moment.
Yeah.
So because of that, I do think, even if he doesn't want to be this type of coach long term, even if he knows that I'm about to have to, and that can be a hard pivot. I know, go from players
I don't
coach
think
to
you
a hard
can go
ass.
from players
that,
coach to
I
a hard
think it can certainly be difficult, but I think you had to have whomever was going to take over from that moment needs to have almost a group, multi-month-long team building stuff, like when you have to do, ropes courses in the woods, of really trying to
falls.
Yeah, exactly. Of trying to make everyone feel a little less anxious when they're going to work because of how last year ended, the added pressure that is going to happen locally for that team because, once again, the rest, Bob, and also, by the way, we have this brand new stadium and all of the hype that's going into it. So for all of that, even though I have been pretty ambivalent over whether or not I think Joe Brady is even the right coach, I think this is the right move. I think this is the environment you have to create for this specific team in this specific moment.
And you see it from different leaders throughout history. We all know how well, unemotional, unthought out decisions work out. Those, the quick reaction, not evaluating the whole situation, just moving forward. Those typically work out really well. I think in New England, they moved on from a disciplinarian to a guy that was cooler with Gerard Mayo, and but I'm sure that there's a breath of fresh air in the building. And
go ahead.
I'm known as the fun guy on the show,
You used to be. Brew clearly is that now. He's the funniest guy.
You want to be the fun guy?
He is.
I thought you were wise and tough.
Well, I'm all of that.
He's
I got different
much like a lot of people.
That.
They go from wise to quirky uncle.
Like the old actors.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing in comedies and their own.
Getting your pina colada face. He's always got a pina colada. It reminded me of Pete Carroll in the Raiders' change of culture. And it's the Raiders have been down in the dumps, and they're such a tough franchise. And then we saw this video come out of, I think it was OTAs, or I forgot what it was, but and we're and we asked a similar question: do we like this for the Raiders? Well, it turns out they were the worst team in the entire league. I just think, as the second most fun person on the set, I hate to say this, I think fun might be overrated. I think it might be
nobody's saying that when the
overrated.
Chiefs are doing Ring Around the Rosie and winning Super Bowls.
But Andy Reid loves hamburgers and Hawaiian shirts, but he runs the tightest training camp, and they got to stay in these tiny dorms. Yeah. One of the guys even had to stay in a prison.
It was a county jail.
County jail.
Not a prison.
But I just feel like now it's disciplinarian or fun, tomato, tomato. I just think fun stinks.
Yeah, look, I was in an organization that wasn't the most fun for quite a while, but Bill Belichick and Nick Saban, and you hear them all the time talk about it. What's fun? Winning is fun. Yeah. And those times were hard. Every day was hard. Every day there was a lot of pressure. Every day there were high expectations, but it forced you to do your best on a consistent basis. And the winning was a lot of fun.
You know what's also... go ahead, sorry.
Look, I've been on the other side of it, where it's been a much more fun environment. We didn't win, but at the end of the day, it was a lot more difficult overall than
You know what's also fun, KW?
What?
Great reaction time. Play the video, Hubs.
We got it on video?
Oh, no! Bam! Okay, that's great. This is going to be a PETA violation. We're going to hear from him.
He couldn't even fly.
That thing was?
He couldn't even fly.
Oh, you're trying to go. You don't have to blow. What are you talking about?
Look at it.
He wasn't even fly. He's a walk.
Play it on loop.
My goodness. In 5 minutes, how high will Brazil be on our third edition of World Cup Tiers? That's just a guess.
Fifth? Second.
Second edition of World Cup Tiers.
I'm going to tell you how high Brazil's going to be. Exactly how high they deserve to be. Brazil's, all these other teams are drawing to teams way worse than Morocco, and everyone's like, oh, they'll be fine. Brazil draws to Morocco, who's a top 10 team in the world. People freak out. It's outrageous. It's outrageous.
I'm not high on Brazil today. 7 hours, 12 minutes to Scotland, Brazil on Fox. You know, I'm into the Tartan Army.
Tartan Army is fun to watch.
From Miami.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Live from New York, it's a show that killed a fly. Second hour, first things first.
Trust it. I said,
You're on
how
a
to
win-
save coach's life. They carry disease. Get dang fever. Look it up.
Coach really was leery of that fly.
Well, I've never seen a fly when you smash it have like blood explode. It was really that fly might have been
Blood? I don't know
that
if
fly
flies
was a
have
good-
blood.
Well, it was all over my hand in coach's paper. They definitely have blood.
Do flies have blood?
I didn't know either
I mean,
prior to
something's
this.
pumping through them.
Exactly.
That fly was a good 5 ounces. It was a big fly.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's 5
For a
ounces.
fly, that's
But I
good.
don't really know how much.
I don't know what he
understand.
is,
No, it
but he
wasn't.
was a huge
Listen,
fly. He couldn't even fly.
It was at least
Yeah.
a
That's why
gram or
Nick
two.
hit
Yeah.
it. A gram? Is that
A
what it
gram
is?
or two.
5 ounces is a
5
lot,
ounces
I think.
I don't
is
know.
a third of a pound.
I just know he wasn't a pound, so.
Second hour.
He was slow, though. Nick's
we certainly
If you
wasn't.
ever worried that
Anybody could
Brew
have nailed that fly.
No.
He was walking.
Today, no one had that worry. Ready to put all concerns about Ronaldo and Portugal to bed after 2 goals, a brace. Meanwhile, Drake Maye, basically the new Tom Brady, according to several reports, if you read between the lines. I'm saying if you read between the lines. But right now, let me get you caught up to speed on what's been happening. Last night, after carrying 10 bags of ice to his son's 8th grade graduation, only to have the cooler's small drainage spout break off and leak all over his pants.
That was you, not me.
That was me, but still. An elite group of analysts, experts, and a guy who keeps making the VAR sign to diffuse any conflicts within the group. Fought and toiled to burn the midnight oil to deliver the best segment in all sports. It's an honor and a privilege. It's time to go to the tiers.
Again, a lot of tiers today might be a little off because typically the introduction tells little, inside jokes or embarrassing facts about my life.
Yeah.
Instead, you're talking about you.
I wasn't here yesterday to gather the intel.
Yeah, no,
so
you had a picnic that you had to go to. So, here's the other thing that I have been informed of. There is a chance that the tiers are revealed all at once. If that happens, just as an audience,
like as a graphic error?
Again, point thumbs, not fingers. I'm sure I sent it in wrong. I'm just saying.
All at once
I'm
tiers?
saying if that happens, there is a chance. You know how sometimes they have to
That
put the little
changes
warnings?
things.
They're like there's flashing lights, like be
Yes.
careful. Like it could be overwhelming awesomeness. just like try to give yourself little blinders and go
Is
from the
it
bottom up.
definitely happening?
It's
that
not.
way?
I don't know.
All at
I
once.
don't know.
All at once.
48 teams in the World Cup.
Oh, my
Some
God.
have
I'm
already been
scared.
eliminated. I'm fairly certain the eliminated graphic is just going to be the eliminated graphic.
Ooh.
Turkey, New Zealand, Panama, Uzbekistan, Haiti, Curacao, Tunisia, Iraq, Jordan. They're all eliminated. That's 9 teams, by the way, that have been eliminated, which means 7 more are coming before we get to the knockout round. Now here's the big moment. On the brink. Let's see what we have for on the brink.
Yes! What a day!
That's too much!
They're all on
That's
the
too
brink.
much! Everybody
Take it
calm
down.
Take it down.
It is
Take it down.
It's
Too
like
much.
blinding. It's blinding.
Oh my God.
Wow.
What should I do? Top
You
down?
gotta go through.
No, if you're at
bottom up.
home, put your
it
hand on your
regular.
screen.
On the brink. South Africa, Qatar, formerly known as Qatar, Ecuador, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay. It would be stunning if any of these teams make it to the knockout round. And I want to say, for Ecuador and Uruguay, you're embarrassing the South American Confederation. You need to be better. I'm serious.
Strong words.
I didn't.
Wow.
You know how, like in the
Embarrassing a
NCAA tournament, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The ACC is 3-7. It's like you're embarrassing the conference. Like you're making.
Yeah, that's
It's not
on you
great.
guys. Yeah.
All right. 2 in, 2 out tier. That is, as you can see, Czechia, again, formerly the Czech Republic. I'm a little confused by some of this. Bosnia-Herzegovina, Iran, DR Congo. So if there's 9 already eliminated, 5 more there on the brink, that means a maximum of 2 of these teams are going to make it. But 2 will make it to the knockout round. Happy to be there. That is Scotland, who I think KW believes in today. Australia, Paraguay, Cape Verde. Shout out Cape Verde. Austria, Algeria. They all will just be thrilled to make the knockout round. Also, Austria, Algeria have a very potential for a very odd final match of the group stage that maybe we can talk about more tomorrow with Dax, where neither team is incentivized to win. Both teams are incentivized to tie. There's also a history there of Austria once doing that. I think in a game against West Germany to keep Algeria out of the knockout round. Now Algeria can be a part of it. Doesn't matter. They're just happy to be there. Go get a game. These teams, South Korea, Canada, Switzerland, Ivory Coast, Sweden, Ghana, they're probably all going to be underdogs in the round of 32. However, they absolutely all could win their round of 32 game and get to the round of 16, which is where formerly the knockout round started. Now, I was supposed to do a big thing here, but you guys can already see it.
Yep.
There's 18 teams left. All 18 teams who have not yet been revealed, but they've been revealed. Their fans right now are like, why not us? Why not us? So they all could go on a run, starting with Mexico, Japan, Egypt, Belgium, Senegal, Colombia, and Croatia. I think Colombia and Senegal are legitimately dangerous. And I understand Senegal has been in a brutal draw as far as, playing France and Norway already, but I think they've acquitted themselves well. If they get a win in their final group stage game, they should advance. Croatia has a history the last 2 years, the last 2 World Cups making the semifinals, but all those teams could go on a run. Power of personality tier for very different reasons. Cristiano Ronaldo, Erling Haaland. Power of personality when it comes to Portugal is the discussion of how good or dangerous Portugal is really directly tied to how we are in the moment feeling about Cristiano Ronaldo, even though he's probably not one of their 6 best players on their team. But he's one of the greatest players ever. He's one of the most famous people in the world. So the conversation follows there. Meanwhile, Norway has no business being considered a real contender, except for the fact that Erling Haaland is that great of a striker and that awesome hair and that captivating personality. So that's where they are. Brutal draw. This right now, Netherlands-Morocco, is a round of 32 game. First knockout round game, Morocco-Netherlands. Now, by the way, if Morocco jumps above Brazil in the group, then that first knockout round game would be Brazil-Netherlands. I don't want that to be the case. And by the way, whoever wins that game gets a little respite potentially in the round of 16, and then sitting there in the quarters is France or Germany. So it's just a very unlucky where they're falling in the bracket. The ultimate revenge. What were you guys doing 250 years ago? Tell you what.
I wasn't born.
True.
I was in kindergarten.
What if 250 years after the American Revolution, America says, you know what? We took the country. Take the sport too. We're going to go further than England in our World Cup on our home soil. And you know what I'm hearing a lot of from the international visitors? Why doesn't the U.S. always host this tournament?
I have not heard that.
Because I didn't know this, Josh. Really? We can talk about this after the show. The United States stadiums compared to the Premier League stadiums, big difference here. We could host it again and not even double dip any of the stadiums. We got so many great stadiums. Now, is that a misallocation of tax dollars and maybe a problem for other infrastructure? Maybe. But in the moment, it's awesome.
We did with hockey.
And by the way, the United States, everyone's like, oh, the United States, don't overstate what they did against Paraguay and Australia. You know who Paraguay and Australia are ranked way higher than? Ghana. And you know what England couldn't do yesterday? Get a goal. Get a single goal. Don't let one game fool you. For Spain and Brazil, that one game was opening game draws. Now, Spain's came against Cape Verde, while Brazil's came against Morocco. Meanwhile, Germany's opening round game against Curacao scored 7 goals.
After a while.
People view, that right now, I think people are still having their head, is Brazil, how good are they? Germany seems like big, bad, super contender. Spain, people I think are not as high on as they should be. Again, and Brazil looked good since then. KW doesn't like their
second half. They played Haiti to
the ultimate team, France. I don't know. Remember when Pochettino said about the U.S. and the 100 best players in the world? Mm-hmm. How many of those 100 best players are on the French team? 12 of them? Like do they have a top 100 player or 2 that isn't even starting for them? Probably. Yeah. And then atop the tiers, the ultimate player, Leo Messi. And by the way, they also might have the best defense in the whole tournament right now. 2 clean sheets. That is first ever, fully revealed all.
Fully revealed tiers I liked.
I'm going to say something that I've never said on this show. Okay. Something that I never thought I'd say on this show in a million years.
My goodness.
Something that, to be honest, the thought of it has never even crossed my mind.
Wow.
Nick, you nailed it.
Wow.
I knew it.
You
knew
nailed
he was going to like it.
I was looking for a problem. I was looking for something. Like, I said, okay, let me move France ahead of Argentina. But Argentina has 2 clean sheets against better competition so far. I said, let me try to move Spain up. But Yamal, it hasn't even played a full game yet. I'm sure he will going forward, but hasn't. So there is one problem with it, but I will leave it to Wilds because I had the same thought he had. That was the
same thought that I had?
Yeah. The same thing.
Go ahead.
I think I saw it on the sheet.
That Portugal's back? I was going to move.
I would move Portugal up. Okay. That's the one thing. There was nothing else I could.
So I would move Portugal up. If I'm going to take the first game against DR Congo and say, put that aside, little warm-up game. Ronaldo came back. He had a brace yesterday, almost had a hat trick, and announced that he was back. I said, you know what? I'll start to believe. Here are the stats with Ronaldo by opponent. Uzbekistan, they won 5-0. He had 2 goals. He had 5 shots on target. He had 34 touches. So that was excellent. It was interesting that you had him Portugal on the same tier with Norway, which is really their Holland show, where Portugal is really the opposite. So obviously a lot of guys got into it. Here's the stats on, this is the last 3 major tournaments. So this is World Cup in Euros, right? 2 Euros and a World Cup. Ronaldo's got 3 goals. Bruno Fernandes got 3. Mendes has got 1 that he got yesterday. I also liked this kick that we thought it was going to be Ronaldo's goal. It was an unselfish moment. Yeah. And afterwards, he points to his head. He's like, no, basically, I'm a savvy player.
Nothing like an unselfish moment to tell everyone
I did that. I tricked you guys. So I would like.
He's growing.
I'd like to have Portugal up. Okay. And before I throw you the ball, bonus take.
Wow.
Bonus take. Flying under the radar. Old school soccer powerhouse. This following, 30 seconds doesn't lead to a goal. But caught my eye last night, Colombia versus DR Congo. Just the control of the ball all the way up the pitch.
It's 3 minutes into the game.
Yes. So it's Portugal-Colombia Saturday, early take from old KW. I've got Colombia winning this game. So it's a bit of
Wait,
Colombia beating Portugal, and you said Portugal should be moved up.
I know.
That's where we.
I can't. Honestly,
it's a bit.
You know what?
There are
times.
There are
times you give takes, and you know how much I love you. I text you guys on Father's Day. I really do love you guys. There are times though you give a take that angers me less than if I found you in my dressing room stealing money out of my wallet.
First of all, you don't have any money in there.
You doing a whole thing on Portugal.
That being said, I have Colombia
and then saying
you should have done Colombia.
You could have just said Colombia, Nick. Yes, Colombia is dangerous. But to try to then be like, and I've got Portugal losing.
I got caught in it though. That's not how I entered the take. I just started hearing the music and I just went overboard. I just started to get excited.
That was
Colombia.
your analysis.
It was supposed to be a bonus take, but all of a sudden I'm like, maybe I like Colombia more, and then it just came out. Heart wants what the heart wants. I'm a Colombia guy now.
I think Colombia is dangerous. What I would say is, for the theater of the World Cup, Portugal winning that game on Saturday that I'll be at, winning that group, and being on a quarterfinal collision course with Argentina is pretty ideal.
I would be rooting for that, but I'm a Colombia guy now.
See, this is.
I am.
Then why didn't you build your whole take around Colombia instead of this?
I could have done.
And also, by the way, Brew, I've got a bonus fact, and I put fact in quotes because this is based on Wikipedia. And I didn't check all the sourcing on it, but I believe it to be true. And there's no disrespect to any of the athletes involved. And I think this is one of the cooler things about the World Cup is some of these countries, these guys have to have real jobs. Yeah. But you know how like in the NBA, Twitter, people are like, they were playing against plumbers and firemen.
Not to Twitter, the Lakers coach.
JJ Redick then also said it on TV from Twitter. I do believe Uzbekistan's goalie's full-time job is a plumber in his home country.
I think yes.
And so I'm not, again, good for Cristiano Ronaldo, but I do think it's going to get a little harder as they advance.
I think that's a fair take. We're counting down to Scotland, Brazil from Miami tonight at 6. But first, here's James Corden. Take a listen.
The Scottish fans are invading Vice City and very much embracing the local culture, singing the unofficial Miami theme song.
Miami, the city that keeps the roof blazing. Scotland in the city with the sun cream on, taking beers on the beach since the break of dawn. Welcome to Miami, bienvenidos, Tartan Army. Coming down from Boston with the couch still on, Brazil are the team that we're taking on. We're going to Miami, we're the famous Tartan Army.
Yeah. When I look at that, I think, not as easy as it looks, is it? Singing in a car, you think you know what to do, but it's tough. Not easy. Can I tell you what, though? The Scottish fans, for me, have been so incredible this World Cup. I'm I'm already dreading when they go home, because I feel like every city they're going to, the city's just going, this is amazing.
This is amazing. Yeah. They're going to Miami right now. That's where the sunburns that are about to happen are going to be
absolutely right.
Studied by medical science for the next 100 years.
You're completely right.
With as much as they're drinking and as unused to what happens in Miami as they are, people either going to die or procreate to such an extent that Miami's going to have a Scottish accent in the next 20 years.
Zootopia 2 has come home to Disney+.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're gonna crack this case and prove we're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
You are... Gary the Snake. And your last name? The Snake.
Dream Team. New habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home.
You're clearly working at
Zootopia 2, now available on Disney+, rated PG.
Welcome back to First Things First. Morocco, Haiti at 6 tonight. Morocco is likely through, but we'll be looking to run up the score on Haiti to try to catch Brazil in goal differential. Nick, do you have a pick on this game?
I think Morocco wins. I do not think Morocco catches Brazil in goal differential.
I'm not in on Brazil. Not at all.
Based on
they have not looked sharp.
It's just not true.
That's according to.
It's just Morocco's awesome. Brazil-Morocco is probably the only group stage game between two top
Played 45 minutes against Haiti when they wanted to score. They just did nothing. They just passed the ball around.
Okay.
Head to American football. Drake Maye growing stronger mentally. Chad Graff were writing, during minicamp, the Patriots purposely didn't give Maye a play to run out of the huddle. What'd he do? You think he's lost his mind? No. The goal was for him to study the opposing defense. It's actually his own defense, but still. Figure out a play that would work against it and communicate the plan to teammates and then execute it. Guess who else used to do this? A guy named Tom Brady, number 12. Ever heard of him? Tom Brady once mastered this Josh McDaniels-led offense. Now the Patriots want Maye to do the same. Yeah, I think so. We were very successful for 2 decades. You guys have a reaction to this stuff? I loved it.
Well, this is a very important part of the learning progression that you go through, and it's very different executing a play. So that's what you have to do. That's the what. But when you have to call a play, then you have to understand the why, and then you've got to put it into a context of where am I on the field? Am I in the red zone? Am I backed up? Is it third and short? So the contextual part of it is important also. And then from a coaching perspective, it allows you to understand the way the quarterback thinks and processes and what he's comfortable with. So when you're thinking about building a play sheet for him and you get in those gotta have it type moments, you can defer to the things that you know he really feels good about. So that's part of it. And we've all been through that phase where we're learning and you can recite information, but that's different than when you can teach it. And when you call plays, that's the level of teaching that you're looking for. And what we would do is we would have a whole period where the quarterback would be able to call his own plays, but we did it defensively too. So for 3 or 4 plays, the middle linebacker, the signal caller would call a defensive play. Then we'd have someone in the secondary, he'd be able to call plays, because then the players are absorbing it and you're getting a feel for them. And you're also getting an understanding of the way that you are trying to work the system and present the system.
I have 2 takes.
Yeah, let's hear them.
Take number 1 is courtesy of one of my old radio colleagues in Houston and longtime NFL defensive tackle, Seth Payne. You probably coached against Seth Payne a little bit.
What year was it?
I think the 2000 aughts is when he was playing. But regardless, he said, Tom Brady's mind is Randy Moss's 40-time and vertical leap. But because we can't see it, people are constantly assuming other guys can do it. And his point was you never heard another being like, hey, we think he's going to be the next Randy Moss. Because it's like, well, the guy's 6'6" and could run. He was the fastest guy in the league.
I like that take.
And his point was because of what Brady's superpower was not visual, that people assumed other guys could more easily duplicate what he did. And so whenever I see and I get obviously with the Patriots and with the quarterback for the Patriots, there's going to be more Brady comps. That always jumps to mind. But that's my more thoughtful take, which is why it came from someone else. Here's the Nick Wright exclusive take. I've had about enough of the Josh McDaniels stuff.
Oh, I don't know. He's just
greatest
Hall of Fame offensive coordinator.
I don't think he will be. That's first of all. Second of all, if we are really going to when you guys won those Super Bowls, who was the offensive coordinator when you were there and you guys won 3 Super Bowls? Charlie Weiss. Now, Josh was there as the offensive coordinator when you guys lost the Super Bowl to the Giants, and he had to really piece it together with Tom Brady and Randy Moss. I get that. And then he has been, I think he's an excellent offensive coordinator. He also then came back after not working as a head coach and got 12 years into his career, that mind of Tom Brady, and Brady reached heights he hadn't reached before. So I'm not taking anything away from what I think is fair credit to Josh McDaniels. But this idea that he has this magical, not potion, pixie dust, that he can just sprinkle on Drake Maye on this stuff that I think you really believe in. I don't think if we are ranking offensive minds in the league, he's not one of my top 5. Now, it's because almost all the other guys who are ahead of him are head coaches. But he, for some reason, has not been able to do that. And so there's a lot of McDaniels was there with Brady, therefore he's there with Maye, that I just don't fully buy. And I don't buy that.
So why were we so good? Why did we make it to the Super Bowl last year?
I think
with a wide receiving core that was nobody was singing their praises, a running game that was okay, skill position guys just fine, and a second-year quarterback who had a losing record.
Because I think your quarterback is awesome. I think you have a very good offensive coordinator. I just don't think he is at the caliber you have him. And I think the biggest difference in your team last year was you went from who I always believed, and I think you disagreed with me at the time, was one of the worst coaches in the league in Gerard Mayo, to an excellent head coach. And you spent all that money in free agency on defense. The defense got better. The credit pie piece is kind of what I'm trying to get to.
Sure.
I would just have a much smaller slice for Josh McDaniel than I think you do.
I have a huge slice.
Well, then you're taking it away from Drake Maye.
I have a gigantic slice. I have always had a gigantic slice.
The one area where I'd push back on the evaluate or the comparison of Brady's mind to Moss's skill set is the whole concept of 10,000 hours, where that you can work on things, and become an expert at them. Where you could work on your 40 times, you could physically. It's not the same thing, but mentally, I do think you can make real strides.
You can make real strides, but you're still, that to me is kind of the point that I was making. I think you're right. You can make real strides, but I think there is a genius level of football understanding that Tom Brady, you saw little bits of it even in his college career at Michigan. Now, he got overlooked because of the physical limitations, but I don't think you can study yourself or draw yourself or learn yourself into Tom Brady's level understanding of NFL defenses. I don't believe
But I do think this is the right approach, though, because Maye has all the physical tools. So now, even if I agree, it's doubtful he becomes Brady mentally, but if he can just get anywhere near there, the thing is just improving him mentally and then package that with his physical tools, and now they've given him better weapons. And I think the good thing there, too, is obviously he's not, and they're not resting on his laurels. Oh, second in MVP, got to the Super Bowl. They'll never rest on their laurels, especially when Vrabel and McDaniels, who were a part of the Brady era, are there. Because it's okay, maybe if they win the Super Bowl, that's great. The other guy won 6, so they'll keep, the bar is just going to keep getting higher and higher as long as he can keep hitting these levels. So I think it's a great approach.
It's not like being in Chicago where there's no great quarterback that you're comparing yourself to. So, anything that someone young comes in and does, it's oh my God, this is amazing.
Ever. Thank you.
There's a huge level of comparison. And I will say that the effect of coaching is the ability to Sherpa guys along and to show them the shortcuts and to be able to maximize the time that they have. And I think that has real value too.
Can I ask you a question, Coach? This is a very basic way that I'm looking at the Patriots offense, and I'm sure it's wrong. If Josh McDaniels has years of playbooks, and even in his little hiatus, he's went out and learned more from other coaches. So I assume he is sitting on a binder, multiple binders worth of plays. Does he give Drake Maye more plays? Is it actually hey, this was, sophomore year math, and now here's junior year math? It's more and more complicated.
Yeah, you're drawing on that aspect of it. Is how much can you give him, and you're evaluating his ability to process. Are you giving too much, too little? But that also is you're drawing on your experience of all the other quarterbacks that you've worked with over time. This worked really well for this guy, and he had a skill set that's similar to Drake in this way. So you're eliminating a bunch of the mistakes that you've made over the course of your career with other guys. You're maximizing the lessons that you learned over the course of your career with other guys. And that's the real value for a young quarterback is you get all the mistakes that Josh McDaniels made over the length of his career. Now he's able to hopefully eliminate the mistakes and maximize the upside in the time that you have.
Yeah. What are you drawing, Kato?
Drop some plays for Josh McDaniels if he needs some for A.J. Brown.
He could have used them. He could have used them at any of his stops that didn't have Tom Brady or a superstar in Drake Maye. That's the only point
Everyone gets fired.
No. Hold on.
Well, he wasn't a good head coach.
Listen.
The Raiders.
Wait.
He had two Denver.
Hold on. Can I just say something? Everyone gets fired, and there's a lot more to being a head coach. There's a lot. I get all of that. The point I was alluding to is it's not as if you at those other stops when he didn't have Tom Brady and now Drake Maye that you saw. It's like, well, that offense is humming, but it's all the other stuff. Just, he doesn't have those tools. And so I just think you said you're giving a huge slice to Josh McDaniels, and that's my only point is the old credit pie thing, that slice comes from somewhere else. So in a weird way, I think I'm just giving a bigger slice to Vrabel and Drake Maye than you are, because there's only so much credit to go around. And I think I think he is more replaceable than I think you think he is.
If Josh
I don't know.
McDaniels
I like McDaniels.
I would be very upset.
I think he's great for that situation.
I don't know if Mac Jones feels the same way, right? I mean, Mac Jones had a really successful career or start to his career with Josh, and it seems like he's trending in the right direction now, but he kind of discounted the value that Josh added, and the head coaching component of it. Sometimes when you become a head coach and you're still the offense coordinator, there's so many other things pulling at you that you're not doing the best job you can do as the offensive coordinator, and that to me is one of the problems of serving in both roles. Okay.
Coming up next, Czechia, Mexico is tonight at 9 on Fox.
And breaking news.
In breaking news, Austin Reaves gets extended with the Lakers. We're also counting down 9 hours, 21 minutes, 30 seconds to Czechia, Mexico from Mexico City.
With over 2 decades of scientific innovation across oncology, Pfizer continues to drive the next wave of cancer breakthroughs. Approximately 40% of all our R&D is invested in oncology. With 90-plus clinical trials across more than 4,000 sites, Pfizer is focused on 8 new medicines by 2030, all with a single focus: helping your patients with cancer. Learn more at cancer.pfizer.com.
Welcome back to First Things First. We're counting down to Switzerland, Canada at 3 today from Vancouver. Switzerland has outshot their opponents 39-11 so far. Canada got their first win against Qatar in their second game, won 6-0.
And Switzerland drew Qatar. The game that's going on during this game, Switzerland, Canada, is Qatar, Bosnia-Herzegovina. If Qatar wins that game, that's probably who the U.S. plays in the round of 32.
I mean, if Qatar wins that game, that would be massive.
Yeah.
And also, this is from Vancouver, which Brew called one of the most beautiful cities in all of North America, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Might be the most beautiful.
Might be number one.
It is really.
I need to get out there.
Fighting.
The architecture and everything is there.
What?
The most beautiful city in North America?
Las Vegas.
Yeah, obviously.
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
I mean, that's what you're saying.
I'm sorry. Is there an Eiffel Tower in Cleveland? Are there Venice canals in Cleveland?
There's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay.
We got a nice.
Austin Reaves has signed a 4-year, $185 million deal to return to the Lakers. This is Shams reporting. Your initial reaction to this news, and then we'll get to what do you think this means for LeBron.
So, congrats to Austin, and the fact, I'm sure he's happy that even though the Nets and Bulls cap space dried up a bit, he's still got the most any team other than the Lakers could offer him was 4 for $179. My guess is that when we get the real details of this, this is 4 for $180, with those last $5 million being incentive based, like that he can get $1 million bump. So the Lakers basically said, "Hey, we will make it so you make more money staying here than you could anywhere else, but We're not just going to snap give you 5-241, which is the most we can offer you, when nobody else can offer you more than 4 for 179. So losing Austin Reaves for nothing would have been a catastrophe. He is coming off the best year of his career that's, unfortunately was derailed by injury. I do think it is a fair question of, if this is the only other max guy than Luka you're going to be able to have on your team, is he the best skill set fit with Luka? And my answer to that question is probably not. Like, that's not, you'd rather have a guy who isn't a, ball-dominant primary scorer, even though he's not as ball-dominant as Luka. But the Lakers don't have much of a choice.
How about some athleticism is what
or a defender, or what I mean? Something just Austin Reaves might be as good of a player around the same tier as like Jaylen Johnson. But Jaylen Johnson's a way better fit for what the Lakers need. But you can't
Luka
just
wanted
pick
him. Luka, there's all those reports that
and Luka made the finals with Kyrie, who has similar skill set, and so I get that.
Yeah, if these are gonna be your two best players, then you really need some athletes and defenders around, and shooters, obviously. But that's what they need to do. And for LeBron has clearly earned the right to do whatever he wants. And I think that's where he and the Lakers got to figure it out. And there is a world in which I can say, you know what? If the three of them are healthy, because last year they played really well together, the three of them are healthy. If LeBron doesn't decline too much next year, give it a shot and see. They didn't get their shot really again. They didn't get a shot in the playoffs this year because Reaves or Luka was injured. So you can do that. But then there's another part of me that is like, you know what? They need to go all in on just the Luka era. LeBron should go somewhere else. Because it's just, I don't think they're going to win the West next year.
No.
And Luka's not getting any younger, but he is getting more fragile. And they have to build this team. They may not be as good without LeBron, but they got to start building around Luka for the long term to try to start competing with OKC and San Antonio. So there's a lot of tough decisions.
You would call LeBron into your office and say, you know what? It's the Luka era. We're
like I said, I think LeBron's earned the right to, and he could stay there and be effectively. I just don't think they're going to win the West next year with LeBron. And they could be good and maybe better than they'd be without him, but it is the Luka era.
I don't think they're trying to win the West next year. I think that they somehow are still like maybe one more transaction cycle and then this team will be ready. I was stunned the Lakers made that draft pick last night. I tried to get this into the show 100 different ways. I'll get it in this way. I think teams that are in win now and don't have a complete roster don't make picks in the mid-20s. I think that what you do is you use that along with maybe a future pick and what they did have expiring contracts and try to get a player to help you right now. Because the Lakers can have the most cap space of any team in the league. That is going away very quickly, as evidenced by this. And when we talk about all the different things they need, first of all, nobody's a free agent anymore. Second of all, you're not going to get all of those things even though you have the most cap space. Like I don't.
That's where it might be. You bring LeBron back and you give it a fair chance. Give it a chance.
And I just think, just like we saw, and maybe it will be different with the new ownership once they fully take over and all of that. But they say Jeannie and friends are going to be running the team for a while. As you saw happen this year, when things looked like they weren't going well. We'll just blame. We'll whisper to everyone, LeBron's kind of holding us back still. We want to respect him and we don't want to move on. But man, LeBron is not the reason the Lakers don't have a fully formed roster. LeBron last year earned his salary. The year before he was 6th in MVP voting. He is not a sunk cost on your roster. It is not with respect, like the late great Kobe's final deal where it's like, okay, that's not who he is. They don't have a fully formed roster around Luka because they never really made the fully formed roster around LeBron post the Westbrook trade. They never recovered from the athleticism and the defense that they gave up to get Russ. And so I'm very happy for Austin. And I do think Luka and Austin and LeBron, it's like, oh, that'll be interesting. But you're going to win, forget 4 rounds. You're going to win 3 rounds. In round 2, you're going to go toe-to-toe with the athleticism of San Antonio or Oklahoma City. And in round 3, you're going to go toe-to-toe with the other one. I mean, so I just...
The best team they could have next year would probably be to bring LeBron back.
Yeah, because
they don't give it a shot. But
we'll be doing the same topic next year.
Yeah.
LeBron's like, I'll run it back for me.
Come Undone is the new novel from multi-hyphenate Eddie Wong, best-selling author of Fresh Off the Boat. What happens when a red flag catches real feelings? Author Jean Chen Ho says it best. Come for the satirical millennial cringe and over-the-top luxury lifestyle fantasy. Stay for the surprisingly sensitive portrayal of a bombastic, big-hearted dude bro. Come Undone is available now.